getting loose? Is that what you're doing? Flex up. Yeah, take a look. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to episode number 186 of Three Guys Before the Game, a special guest. Yes, it's called Three Guys Before the Game. We only have two today. But this guy makes up for two people. He might make up for three. From parts unknown, please welcome former Mountaineer John Flowers.
You said my name right this time. Got the right name.
Yeah, sorry about that. Situation there last week, didn't I? My bad.
What's up, man?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing all right. Can't complain.
I appreciate you pinch hitting for us.
Anytime.
The Senator, Brad Howe, out this episode. He's got the bug. And yeah, well, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's that strand. And then the Dean, Hoppy Kirchhoff, he's making his way back from Charleston. And so I was left with one guy before the game, and I said, wait a second. I got to get a guy that can make up for two people, and that would be you. And I'm lucky I got you because you're going back to play in Argentina Saturday, huh?
Argentina on Saturday, Buenos Aires.
Awesome.
Should be a nice time.
Yes, absolutely. You've been there before. Coming up on our program, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to run all over the place today. We're going to talk Iowa State for West Virginia's game against Iowa State. We are going to look ahead a bit to Saturday's game against the Baylor Bears. We're going to hear your questions. We're going to hear and answer your texts. I guess you don't hear your text, but
I like talking to the people.
That's good.
It's the only reason why I'm here.
Well,
not to talk to you.
You're a man of the people, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. And careful, I've got your career stats in front of me. So just pull back a little bit.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'll just blame Hugs. For the bad thing.
Everyone else is. Yeah. I mean, you might, right? I mean, jump in line. Get in line. Get in line. Everyone's blaming Hugs. All right, we're into it. Today's program, Three Guys Before the Game, being brought to us by Wheeling Island Hotel Casino and Mardi Gras Casino and Resort in Cross Lanes. Visit their sports books at both locations. They're open for business right now, powered by Betley, taking bets on all of your favorite sporting events. By Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. And our newest sponsor, Burdett Camping Center, the only Warranty Forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. They've got a three-guy special going on. I'll tell you about a little bit later on. You can visit them at burdettcamping.com. So here we go, man. West Virginia down to its final game of the regular season Saturday afternoon. It's the Mountaineers against the Baylor Bears. Tip-off is set for 1 o'clock, and Seniors Day. There are three seniors on this team, two from West Virginia. Chase Harler and Logan Rout will be playing their final games, and Jermaine Haley, who transferred into the program, will also be playing his final game. So three seniors saying so long. This matchup against Baylor is important for a bunch of different reasons. Obviously, for West Virginia, the Mountaineers are trying to stay away from playing next Wednesday at the Big 12 tournament, and a couple of different things have to happen. One of which, you just take care of it all by yourself if you beat the Baylor Bears. If you don't beat the Baylor Bears, then you have to hope that Oklahoma beats TCU later in the night. That's a 6 o'clock tip-off on Saturday, and that will ultimately determine where West Virginia plays.
The Baylor Bears that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they guard, man.
Yeah, they look good. I saw them play the other night against
Texas Tech.
Yeah. That was a great game, actually.
That was like an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah.
They got after it.
Was that their senior night?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. You know what? They're pretty young now. A lot of those guys come back.
What, Baylor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of those guys come back. They do this weird deal there, or just the way that it worked out, either through injury, transfer, or redshirt. They've got a bunch of guys that are older but still have eligibility because they've had those sit-out years. And so as a result, experience-wise, it's not like heavily senior-dominated, but at the same time, they got guys that are older.
22, 23.
Exactly. A little bit of a difference, isn't it, when you're 22 and 20? When you finished, how old were you here?
21. Just turned 21.
Yeah, because you were young when you got here. Were you 17 when you got on campus?
17, man, and they threw me to Deshaun Butler and Wellington Smith, and they just corrupted me. Ever since then, I haven't been the same since.
Did you think when you first got here and started banging around with those guys that you could play here or not? Were you worried?
I knew I was going to get in the weight room and get bigger because I saw what those guys were when they were freshmen, and they got bigger in the weight room and stuff like that. And we had a great strength coach, and Jeff.
Giosi.
Yeah, he was great. So I was looking forward to it, man. I always take on the challenge, you know what I mean? Us Maryland guys. Shout out to Dexter Miles. He was the same way.
Yeah, yay, Maryland. How much did you weigh when you got here?
175.
How much did you weigh when you left?
Like 205.
What do you weigh right now?
215.
Okay.
I'm getting bigger, yeah.
You'll never be like, I'll never see you and go like, whoa, John let himself go. That's just not your body type.
I mean, you might see me and be like, you might say that because I'm going to get skinny.
You think you'll get skinnier?
Yeah, I'll get skinny, but I think I'll continue to work out, and I won't ever get fat though. You know what I mean? But
that's not your body type.
Nah,
I don't think that's your body.
I'll
type.
get skinny, and you might be like, "Whoa, John Flowers."
John? Yeah. Hey, John, what's going on? What's going on there? Let's jump in here. You watched the Iowa State game the other night.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. I think this team obviously is really young, and they struggled on the road. That was just their second league road win. They got the first weekend of the season at Oklahoma State. Couldn't win again until this past Tuesday night.
On the road.
Road win. So let me throw one at you here. The fact that they got a lead, double figures, then lost the lead, and then came back and got the lead again in a loud environment, what does that do? Am I reading too much into this? But what does that do for a team and those guys' confidence when they're able to come back and retake it and get the momentum back?
I mean, I don't like to use the inexperience rule or that excuse, basically. But it definitely gives them that experience, you know what I mean, that confidence because they've been there before. That's what the year we went to the Final Four, that's what we used to say all the time. Like, we used to get in situations on the road and stuff, and we were calm and collected because we've seen it before, you know what I mean? So it's in a way, it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. And until you go through it and know that you can get through it, it takes that time. But you guys go.
But also at the same time, they need to learn how to keep the lead, and that just comes with experience as well in basketball IQ. And I said it before, our basketball IQ, our players' basketball IQ is terrible actually. So that comes with experience and just watching film and studying and seeing what you could do better.
Follow up on that. So when you watch them, obviously you're wincing a little bit, going like, what are you doing? Walk me through why you think their basketball IQ is not good. What are they doing that you see that makes you get scared?
Well, just like time management, shot management. Like, one thing that comes to my mind was against the Iowa State game. That was the last game, right? Iowa State. McBride had the ball. He was on a fast break, 2-on-1, and he went up for a layup. He tried to draw contact. He should have just dished it off to
Oscar was right there, yeah,
for a dunk. You know what I mean? Or just pull the ball off, run some clock, run a play, and we got the lead. You know what I mean? So we want to keep the lead, run a play so we can get a good shot. You know what I mean? Instead of taking the first shot that we get.
Absolutely. Now let me ask you this: since you've played professionally, I would imagine that you look back, because you guys now, you know how to play the game now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you now fully understand really how to play this game. When you look back at what you knew even back when you were playing here, you probably look and go, man, I didn't know anything as to how to really facilitate a game.
Right. I haven't looked back at, like, games when I was a freshman, but I'm sure if I did, like, I'd be cringing, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But
shot selection and things like that.
Yeah, my shot selection was always under 5 seconds, so I couldn't shoot the ball unless the shot clock was under 5 seconds. So I didn't really have a.
Let's tell that story. So there was a rule Hugs put in, right? What was this rule?
I can't shoot the ball unless the shot clock is under 5 seconds. So I had to pass it to Deshaun or someone else. But if you watch the film of when I was a freshman, sophomore, junior, you'll see that, like, if I had the ball when it's under 5 seconds, my eyes lit up because I knew I got the shot to shoot the ball.
Showtime. That's showtime for you.
Yeah. Sometimes I would be standing right beside Hugs on the bench, and he would say, shoot it in. And that confidence is everything I needed, and I would just shoot it in, you know what I mean?
So just for the record, You didn't shoot terribly. You shot 43% as a freshman,
That's
47 as a sophomore, 44 as a junior, 47 as a senior.
From the field.
Total.
That's pretty bad to me.
Well, probably you look at it now. I'm saying, but
at
you weren't a 30% guy. You weren't under 40, so that's kind of significant. And as I always use you as the poster child for improved free throw shooting. I always say, don't worry, you can get better.
Yeah.
Look what John Flowers did. Here's your free throw shooting. 38 freshman, 44 sophomore, 49 junior, 49. You come back and you go 76 as a senior.
And that's not really good. I always try to shoot for 80, 85% now.
Okay, real quick, and we're going to jump back in here to this Baylor team. Why did you improve 26%?
Shout out to Billy Hahn. He basically just took the time out to change my whole shooting mechanics. Like right after the season, junior year, after we went to the Final Four, I guess they saw like, oh snap, we have John Flowers now. He's the senior, so
Yeah. Oh darn.
We got to do something now. So they took me, and he basically just changed my whole mechanics. I used to shoot the ball from in front of my face,
Right.
and now he moved it over to the right side in the shooting pocket. So shout out to Billy Hahn, man. He works miracles, I guess.
Yeah, the miracle worker.
And his confidence as well. You know, I didn't have
Sure.
Deshaun over there where if I missed a shot, I was be thinking, oh, he's coming back in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll get into that as well. Here's some numbers that you need to know as West Virginia gets ready to go play Baylor here. So everyone has played 17 league games. So I'm only going to give you the conference numbers, okay, because everyone plays everyone, and that's the most equal way to look at it. This might surprise you. For all of the struggles that West Virginia has had offensively this season, in the 17 league games, West Virginia is averaging 66.5 points, which isn't great. I get it. But there's only one team in league games, dude, that's averaging 70. And that's all they're averaging, and that's 70. And you guessed it, that's Kansas. But Baylor comes in, they're averaging 67.5. So West Virginia is only averaging 1 point less than Baylor in league games, which blows my mind because the perception of Baylor is, hey, they had the number one spot in the country for the longest of any team this season, and you would think they were banging it. Scoring defense, they're really good. They're only allowing 59 points per game, and West Virginia is allowing 63 in league games. First meeting between these two teams, they really locked down West Virginia. The Mountaineers in Waco were held to 31% in the first half, 38% in the second half. They only shot 34% for the game. They were actually a little bit better than their season average at the foul line, 68%. But turnovers absolutely killed them.
Yeah.
Guess how many they had?
How many?
22. Whew. However, things are getting better in that regard. Baylor shot the heck out of it. They shot 41% from the field and from three in the first half, 63% from the field in the second half. Cooled down from three. They were 1 out of 6, but for the game, they ended up shooting 52% to West Virginia's 34%. The Mountaineers, as I said, just the turnovers just absolutely crushed them. Baylor scored 21 of its points off of West Virginia's turnovers. And Baylor also had great success in the lane. They scored 42 of their 70 points inside the lane. Oscar Shibwe was big, 11 points with 12 boards, but didn't shoot it particularly great, 4 of 11. Derek Culver had a poor game. He only played 12 minutes, 3 points, 3 boards, 1 of 4 from the field. That cannot happen on Saturday again.
Yeah, it's a lot of stats to keep up with there. Now, you think is the other teams, you said we're shooting what? We're averaging
65 points. 65 points in league play, yeah.
Do you think that's the other team's defense?
It's a combination. I mean, think about this.
Us?
Think about this, John. In this league, you've got 7 teams that hold people to 67 or less points. It's a defensive league. And it's hard. This three-point shot went out a little bit this season, just not a ton.
Yeah.
But teams are not shooting as well from three as they have, and because teams are so three-point dependent, it's a big problem.
Yeah. So from you reading those stats, you're looking at the upside of things. Like
The upside is this: you can't turn the ball over 22 times. If you got any chance at these guys on Saturday, you just cannot turn the ball over 20 times. Let me see that stat sheet real quick. So look, I thought West Virginia did a really good job the other night against Iowa State, and they're not going to force a ton of turnovers, but WV finished that game with 10 turnovers.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
That's the key.
You need to be in that 10 turnover. And again, they made their free throws. A couple of other notes about this game. I was taking a look at Baylor recently. So they had the unbelievable run where they lost their second game of the season, and then they just went on that crazy streak. They did not lose until the Kansas game, 64-61. But since then, Kansas lost. Baylor has won two of its. They've gone 2-2 in their last four, and needed overtime to beat Texas Tech at home on Monday night. Keep this in mind. Here's some road scores. Right? They lose to TCU 75-72 last weekend. At Oklahoma, they win. They beat the Sooners by 11 in Oklahoma. At Texas, they beat Texas by 7. At Kansas State, they win by 6. That's the last place team in the league. My point to all of that is, obviously, they're not as dominant away from home as like most teams.
Right.
So if West Virginia can get this crowd on Saturday and put things together, it's there for the taking, because West Virginia certainly played horribly the first time and ended up getting beat by 11 points.
Yeah, our last home game wasn't pretty either.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, that takes the wind out of your sails.
Yeah.
Takes the wind out of your sails.
It was a packed house, too, for
Yeah.
Rod Thorne. Shout out to Rod Thorne. And congratulations on his jersey retirement, or his number retirement. It was a packed crowd. It was just kind of dead in there, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if that's because we were losing the whole game.
Sure it is. I mean, I think the crowd tried, but as you well know, crowd needs energy, and when shots don't go in and when the other team's making shots, you kind of go,
yeah.
It's not what I paid for. This is not why I bought my ticket, man. I didn't come to see this.
Yeah. So what do you think the keys to the Baylor game is?
Boy, the thing about them is they're the most impressive group of guys. They've got so many guards that can score.
They do.
Jared Butler's really, really good. Maceo Teague didn't play against us the first time because he was out with an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Davion Mitchell, a kid that transferred to them from Auburn, he's very good. And they got this dude, man, named Mark Vidal. I don't know how closely you watch it. He's 6'5", plays like he's 6'9". Really, really good. They got this other big by the name of Freddie Gillespie. You'll like his story. Went to a Division III school in Minnesota and didn't start, and made himself a player, and now he's right up there as far as the league goes in double-doubles. Just a big dude.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So so they got a talented team, man. They got a talented team, and in the past they've been a zone team. This year, because they've got so much athleticism, they play man, and they're tough to handle. However, at home, things happen.
Yeah, I don't think us missing shots is that big of a deal, because Oscar and Derek are down there getting all the rebounds.
So hopefully
they can just go back up with them.
Exactly.
And make some free throws as well.
We'll get into that. We got some text questions about that. Plus, I want to get your take. Hey, folks, a reminder before we do some phone calls and some texts with John. Plus, we're going to talk about John just won a championship playing overseas in Mexico. And as I said earlier, he's getting ready to go to Argentina to resume his career. You got a 3-month deal there? That's what it's going to be?
Yeah, 3 more months, finish out the season.
So they kind of bring you like, we need Flowers to finish this run.
Yep, that's how I look at it. They need me, to come on there and help them win a championship, another championship. So
you could win 2 championships in one season.
Yeah, that would be very lucrative for me to do that. So that's what I'm hoping to do.
So does that work like it does in the NBA? You make more change here if you win a championship?
Oh, yeah, for sure. With bonuses and stuff, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's how it is.
Well, good. Put a carrot in front of you, man. Make you play.
Yeah, and resume, builds a resume as well for next year. So
absolutely.
Cool.
All right, we'll talk about that here coming up. Hey, a reminder before we get into some phone calls that when it comes to managing IT services and voice services, there's one place to do it in West Virginia, and that's Comax Business Systems. Why them? Because for the 8th time, They have been named an elite dealer by ENX Magazine, and they are the only dealer in the state of West Virginia to ever win that prestigious award. So when it comes to managed IT and managed voice services, they offer 24/7 remote monitoring. Give them a call. Check them out on their website. They'll come to see you, do an inventory, and they can hook you up and give you the relief that you need. That's Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. All right, you ready to do some, you want to do some phone calls? Do some phone calls.
Let's do it.
Okay, you got to put on your headphones. Now, these are not John's personal headphones. He would wear a very high-level headphone.
A bigger headphone.
A bigger headphone, but he just came in. I thought he would travel with his own headphones, kind of like a pool shark goes into a pool hole. He's got his own stick, but I thought John would bring his own headphones.
Yeah. Whose baby's headphones are these?
Coach Hunter.
Oh, okay.
He likes them. I think it costs like $3.99 at the dollar store.
Makes sense.
So he's, yeah, whatever.
Get some bigger headphones,
yeah.
Coach.
Yeah, we'll get into that. All right, you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Caller number 1 on Three Guys
Hey,
Before
two
the
guys. This is Nathan in Raleigh. With all the negativity over the February skid, I'm riding the high of the wind Tuesday night and wanted to remind WVU fans of 3 things we should be thankful for. Number 1, Pitt finished last in the ACC. Number 2, Pitt hasn't beaten WVU in basketball in 8 years. Number 3, Pitt hasn't beat WVU in football in 12 years. It's March 5th, and Pitt still sucks. Thanks, guys.
Okay, there you go.
That's looking at the glass.
I mean, half full guy, right? I mean, kind of like you, right?
Yeah.
Optimistic, glass. Yeah.
Why do we hate Pitt so much?
History, just tradition.
But what do? They
did really bad things, said really bad things through the years. This is over 100 years, dude.
Yeah.
100 years
Yeah.
of stuff. Here's one for you, folks, and I don't get your take. I asked one of the members of the Mountaineer coaching staff this question earlier today to give you a better answer, but here's a caller's question you may have been wondering about.
Since Tony hates Twitter, I figured I would call in. Simple question. Why can't Oscar dunk the basketball?
What?
If he's in transition or if there's no one around the basket, he does fine. But as soon as he gets in the lane and it's the slightest bit congested, he turns into a little baby, tries to get cute and flip the ball up. I don't understand it. 90% of the time, he's the biggest, fastest, strongest person on the court. Please help me.
Did he say Oscar?
Yeah, he said Oscar. So here's the deal.
I haven't seen that.
Well, he struggled in – so here's why. And I asked a member of the coaching staff this specific question. And the short answer is this. He's still in development. He played and has played, number 1, limited basketball, probably like his 5th year of real organized basketball. That's one thing. The second part of that is when he played in high school, he was the biggest, strongest dude. And when he would get the ball inside, you know how he'd score? He'd lay it up over the guys and just score the ball.
Yeah.
At this point, he's still in the learning process of playing over size and length.
Yeah.
It's going to come. It's going to come. But he's not a kid that grew up playing like on a playground, getting banged and crunched and has that part of his game developed. It's just not developed yet. It's not soft. Trust me, he's not soft. He's anything but that. It's more of understanding what he can do.
Yeah. I think with that, over time and learning, with experience, you learn to just slow down. You know what I mean? So maybe if he gets the ball down there and pump fakes, takes his time, then he can go up and rise above everybody and dunk it. You know what I mean? But that's people don't understand that that's the hardest thing to do is to slow down. Because once you have the ball 2 feet away from the rim, like your adrenaline is going like, oh, I'm about to score the ball. And it's just going too fast, and then you might throw it over the backboard or something.
Oh no! Why you got to go there? Why would you have? Why do you have to?
I've done it before.
You have thrown it over the backboard?
Nah. I mean, in middle school.
I think he'd knock you out. By the way.
Yeah, I think he would too. This is a gun carrying state, right?
just relax. I think he would knock you out. Anyway, Here we go. Another question from the crowd.
Hey guys, I have noticed in the last week or so that Hugs has really tried to change the way he talks about the players. It seems he has tried to be more positive. I do believe that this is the way you have to treat the trophy generation kids because they have never been told they have done anything wrong when they were young. I was coached by old school guys, and I respond to the tough love. I have 2 kids of my own, and you can really get on one of them and he responds, and the other one you have to treat differently and be more positive. I just think it's a different generation now where you have to be more positive to most of the kids. What do you guys think on this subject? Thanks, guys. Love the show.
Facts.
What do you think?
Well, we just talked about this on my podcast, the Final Forecast.
Are you guys still doing that?
Great show.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But negative reinforcement, you know what I mean? And I actually just watched Kobe Bryant Muse. Have you seen that? And he was talking about how he wanted the team he wanted to put his DNA on the team, you know what I mean? He wanted his teammates to be as hungry as he is and as fearsome as he was, you know what I mean? So I think basically that's what Huggins is trying to do. He's trying to make the team as hungry as he is and want them to fight just as hard as he, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As he would. So, I mean, do I think it's a bad thing? Like you said, like it's a different generation. You have this thing called the transfer portal now. I don't know what that is. I mean, kids just pick up and leave. They at the drop of a dime, anything goes wrong. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just a different time. You can't talk to kids how he used to, I think, but he should.
Walk me through you getting adjusted to the way that he coached and motivated.
I've never been like a real spoiled kid though. You know what I mean? I actually like it. Like I like negative reinforcement. It makes me, I feed off of it. You know what I mean? Like someone tells me I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more. You know what I mean? So, was it a big adjustment from him like yelling at me and stuff? I knew what I was getting into when I said I was coming here after Beeline left. I knew what I was getting into, so it wasn't really that big of an adjustment. It was everything I expected. Got in trouble a few times for laughing at some of his choice words to me. So, I mean, that was the biggest adjustment, just holding in my laughter.
What about other guys? Did you have to sometimes take other guys and say, hey?
I probably should have, but I didn't. You know what I mean? Because we didn't like that baby and stuff. You know what I mean? We didn't like the baby guys, and no one did it for us. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it should be someone like in the coaching staff or someone on the team that should take guys to the side and be like, hey, he doesn't really mean half the things he says. Like, take the good things and throw out the negative in one ear and out the other. You know what I mean? So, I don't think that everyone on the coaching staff should be yelling at the players and stuff like that. But Billy Hahn was really good at that. Just
take the guys aside.
Yeah, take the guys
good cop,
aside.
bad cop.
Yep, great method.
Yeah, it's a process. All right, ready to go. Another call.
Three guys. Hey, what's up? It's Jeremy from Liberty. I'll be honest, I did not listen to any post-game last night after the game was over. Happy for the win. I was tired. I had to get up early this morning, so I went to bed. But quick question maybe you could shed some light on. It seemed to me that just watching the game, Taz and McBride were the hot hand in the first half. And then we come out in the second half, and they don't get on the floor immediately. I do not want to question a Hall of Fame coach at all. He has forgotten more things about basketball than I will ever actually know. However, I just want to understand maybe his thought process. Could you all shed some light on that? Love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks.
I don't want to question the Hall of Fame coach, but here's the question.
Everyone can be questioned. Don't worry about that, right? We're human. Everyone can be questioned.
For sure.
I think it's kind of old school that the guys that start the game probably a high 90% of the time also start the second half, unless there's like a serious foul problem. That's kind of just the way that it is. And you're absolutely right. That first group that went out in the start of the second half did not score. In fact, West Virginia did not make a basket until less than 13 minutes to go. So they went 7+ minutes without a basket. They made one free throw at the 14-minute-ish mark. To answer your question, I think it's just a matter of kind of like old school, like starter started the game, start the first half, starter start the game, start the second half, and obviously it didn't work as well. I don't think that is necessary. I think you learn from that. And obviously if he had to do it over again, he'd say, I need these guys out there. I think as the rest of the season plays out, and obviously we're getting down to the final games of the season, I think they have come to a consensus that at least two of these three guys need to be on the floor for West Virginia. Taz, Sean McNeil, and Chase Harler. I think some combination of those guys, because statistically, those are the guys that have had the most success in shooting the ball. Now, trust me, some of these guys are still under 30 from three, but they're still above. Taz is at 33% from three, and believe it or not, that's the best on the team.
McNeil has to be our best shooter, right?
Sean McNeil is at 32% on the season. Taz is at 33%, and that's the best. So Taz and Sean are the only guys above 30%, which is just, if you would have bet me before the season started, I would have taken all of that and said, no way. But there's guys that are under 30. Everyone else is under 30. So that's the point of it. I think yes is the answer to your question, and I think that combination that I just gave you, two of those three guys are going to be on the floor for the most part for the rest of the way.
And all of them come off the bench?
Yes, all of those guys do come off the bench right now.
I mean, I think also Hugs is probably looking to get someone else started, someone else to get going, because you can't rely on just one person or two or three people just to do all the scoring for. If we want to go to where we want to go, which is the national championship, we can't just rely on three people to score the ball the whole game. Right. You got to rely on our starters especially, and everyone, the whole team together. Like when they used to throw me the ball in the corner, I had to just make it. I couldn't really think about it.
So they called you money. That's exactly why they called you money. Next call.
Okay, Tony, you want it short and sweet. Give it to us short and sweet. What is going on with all these personal, who's fooling with who's girl, and who's not getting along with each other? You can see it on the faces on the floor. Something's not right.
All right. So you want it short and sweet? I'll give it to you short and sweet. Whose girlfriend? Blah, 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 blah. No one's girlfriend. I don't mean to disappoint.
You don't know.
No, I do know.
You know?
Yeah, there's no problems with this team.
They wouldn't tell you. They would tell me.
There's no problems with this team. Here's what I think.
I don't think so either.
There isn't. Here's what because I talked to a couple guys the other day. Here's what I think happened. So Hugs goes, last week, Hugs' theme was, these guys have a life. They've got personal issues. They've got health issues, da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. So Hugs never says anything that doesn't have an intended reason or message to be said. Here's what I think he was doing last week. Everyone was critical after the loss to Oklahoma, and everyone was down and bashing. And I think he kind of wanted to say, hey, chill out. People have lives. They're kids. Relax. But to think that there's some big bubbly thing going on there where guys don't like each other, absolutely not true. Now, football, several years ago, yeah, you had a lot of infighting, and that thing turned into a crap fest. Not good. But these guys, no, there isn't.
I think they all get along pretty good.
They do.
But our Final Four team, there was stuff like that going on a lot, but we still all got along with each other, you know what I mean? But it's a new generation.
Yeah, imagine.
That's another.
I would imagine that you were probably in the middle of that too.
Maybe. I don't know.
Next call.
Hey, Tony, this is O'Brien over here at the backwoods there. I got to listen to you talking about that transcendental vegetation there. I didn't really know what that was, so I looked it up there. I Googled it, son. And it said what that was whenever you got broccoli stuck between one or two more of your teeth there. I don't know. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. So I think the caller may have been referring to the caller that asked about transcendental meditation. I think he took it as transcendental vegetation. He feels it's a couple pieces of broccoli stuck in between your teeth. So We'll get that cleared up. I may have misheard. Yeah, may have misheard that.
Shout out to the Flatwoods.
Out there. He said he's in the backwoods. Here's a question for you. You ready for this one? This is an interesting question. Ready to go?
Yeah, my name is Doug. I'm calling from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a football alumnus, 1980. My question is, why don't jump shooters use the backboard more for these 10, 15-foot jumpers? You know, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, it was pretty prevalent, and you just don't see it much anymore. And I was wondering, Tony, if it's not taught as much anymore or if it's strictly a shooter's preference. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the call. It's an excellent question. I'll defer to you, and you can go ahead. Why do you think guys don't use the bank shot?
It's a harder. If you don't practice it, it's a harder shot than what a lot of people think. But if you do practice it, then yeah, it could work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a harder shot than a lot of people think, and the rim is a lot bigger than a lot of people think too. So if you shoot it higher with a lot of arc, then I think your chances of it going in are a lot better than shooting off the backboard. You know what I mean?
Yes and no. So there's this big white square, right?
Okay.
Behind the rim. And that's there kind of like it's the way to cheat the game. All that square is saying is hit me. Just wait. Hit me, and you got a heck of a lot better chance of that ball going in. So a couple points on that. This is why I think people don't shoot the bank shot anymore. Number one, people don't shoot as many medium-range jumpers as they used to, unfortunately. So the game has gone either a three-point shot or a penetration and drive to the basket. So we're not getting that mid-range game. The guy with the best mid-range game right now is Deuce McBride.
Yeah.
He's got no problem putting the brakes on and hoisting a mid-range shot. The other part of it is teams don't practice it like they used to. John Beilein specifically ran drills, every single day on bank shots. They would take bank shots. And guess what? That team made bank shots. Yeah. But you're right. It is a hard shot unless you work like anything else, unless you work on it. But it is a big part of the game that is not used like it should be.
So you mean to tell me if I hit the square, it's going in? That's what you think?
Better chance.
I don't think so. I mean,
you can't put it up there 107 miles an hour. I mean, you got to have a little touch.
You got to take all that into effect. Like, it's different angles, the ball spinning, all types of stuff, man. To me, it's kind of a harder shot.
Because you don't work on it. If you worked on it, you could have it.
But I'm just a natural God-given talent. I don't have to work on stuff.
How many mid-range shots do you take? What do you think percentage of your mid-range shots is?
I don't take a lot.
Right.
But
you're either taking threes or you're going to the basket.
Yeah, I take a few. I shoot free throws off the backboard, though, sometimes.
Excuse me?
Free throws off the backboard. Those are easier to me. If you hit the top line of the square on the free throw and you shoot
you're intentionally trying to bank them in?
Yeah, I do that. My coaches overseas hate it, but
I would wonder why.
Yeah, but they go in, though.
What are you shooting from the free throw line?
It's about 80%, 80 to 80. I try to shoot in between 80 to 85 at least.
That works for me.
Yep.
I've never heard that. Intentionally banking them in. That's hard. Straight away is the hardest. Straight away is the hardest bank. Angle's a better bank.
Straight away is pretty easy.
That's really weird
to me.
That's really weird.
But everything comes easy to me.
Do they bet on a lot of things in Argentina and Mexico?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes.
Well, guess what? It's here in West Virginia as well. Wheeling Island Hotel Casino, Racetrack Sportsbook, now open along with Mardi Gras Casino and Resort Sportsbook. Both of them are powered by Betly. Right now you can go to the window and bet on college basketball, including the NCAA tournament futures, pro hoops, sides, totals, and props, XFL, and UFC 248, which is coming up this weekend. You can watch them live at Wheeling Island and at Mardi Gras. You can bet on the Masters futures, Arnold Palmer Invitational, NASCAR Championship futures, and Fan Shield 500, and a whole lot more. So check it out, both at Wheeling Island Hotel Casino and Mardi Gras Casino and Resort Sportsbook, powered by Betly. You ready for some text questions now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Am I ever going to get invited onto the final forecast?
I think you said our show is a little bit too raunchy for you or something like that. Didn't you?
You guys dropped them F-bombs.
Oh, not really.
I've heard it. You guys do. Unnecessarily.
Nah.
I mean, unnecessarily you drop them.
If we do it, then
you're the worst.
It was necessary.
You're the worst.
Am I?
KJ's like an altar boy. Just, right?
Only do it when it's necessary.
Okay.
I'm not like some people I know.
Ben in Charlotte, North Carolina writes, hey, Tony, can you speak to how the current environment and attitude at Baylor compares to what it was 4 years ago in the midst of the scandal, particularly among their staff that you interact with? The folks at Baylor, the staff, John Morris is their play-by-play announcer, one of the greatest guys you will ever meet. And I think those within at Baylor are totally relieved that they got rid of all of those things that were bringing them down from top to bottom. And I think it never was a real issue. You didn't feel it or sense it when you were there, but you can tell that it's a much happier time. John Flowers is a texter writes, where can fans buy best Virginia gear? You selling that out of the back of your car? What are you doing? I mean, is that what it's come to?
Well, you can go to jflowent.com and get some
jflowent.com,
and you can get some Best Virginia shirts. But I think the TBT will be selling a bunch of merchandise, and I'll make it known when they get the information out there.
Okay. I got a suggestion on your TBT team too.
Oh God.
I'll let you know. Jeff in Cross Lanes text in, I've seen, due to the coronavirus, all sporting events will be held with no spectators. What are the chances you think this affects the NCAA tournament? If so, should West Virginia ask Pitt for pointers on playing in empty stadiums?
That's hilarious.
I mean, these people,
they just hate Pitt, huh?
They don't like them.
I don't like them either.
Yeah. Hey, guys, Andy in Columbus. Tony, did you ever think you'd want John Flowers back on the team for his shooting prowess?
Wow.
We could really use another career 32% three-point shooter right about now. Free throws, on the other hand, I'll take my chances with this team. So you didn't know it. You were in 70s as a senior. You missed the fact there, Andy. Can't wait to see John and the gang in the TBT. I love the ambassador he has become for the entire state of West Virginia. Keep it up.
I try. See, I don't think we have anyone on the team that gets the crowd hype, does the dances, does anything, do we?
Excuse me?
We don't have anyone on the team that gets the crowd hype.
No. They're too young.
No one.
No, not really.
I mean,
not really.
That's what you miss out of John Flowers.
Because they're young.
Not the scoring. I get Deshaun Butler hype to score.
You were the guy you were the entertainment. Well, that's why it's J-Flow ENT.
Yeah. So if I was on this team, McBride would be like, oh, look at J-Flow over there dancing on the bench. And then he would come down and knock down a three.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah, solid point. Brandon in D.C., this question is for John. In 2010, there was a light switch moment. Was there a light switch moment that you all knew you could beat anyone, and what advice would you give players on the current roster that are slumping?
Everyone says our light switch moment was the away game at UConn. I don't believe so. I think it was just another game that we lost, but Hugs gave a great speech, and I think the media just took wind of it. But we hear it all the time that we're the only pro team. I mean, there's no pro teams in West Virginia where everyone really looks for us to represent the state. And that's basically what Hug said. So, I mean, I don't know if I know he's been hammering into this team as well. So we really took pride in that. So we don't want to make our state look bad. So I guess that's how we had a light switch moment the whole year, my whole 4 years since I've been here.
Yeah. Question for J-Flow. What's the biggest difference in preparation and mentality in March versus the regular season? Do you kick it up a notch? Did you kick it up a notch in 2010 come tournament time, or did you stick with your normal routines?
Hugs kicked it up a notch, that's for sure.
When the tournament started?
Yeah. I mean, when our tournament, well, the Big East tournament was, a lot of things just fell into place that weren't supposed to fall into place. No one was prepared for it because Hugs thought this team was supposed to win and we prepared for the other team, so we had to wake up at like 11 o'clock, go back downstairs, watch film, and we were all over the place. That happened like 2 or 3 times. And then if you guys remember, for the first round of the NCAA tournament, we came out against Morgan State.
It's Morgan State, right? Yeah.
And we were getting killed, like absolutely killed. We were losing a lot, actually. It was looking bad. And then I guess Deshaun decided to show up, KJ and Ebanks. Those guys decided to show up finally. As I was telling them the whole time, like, you guys got to come on, like, let's do it. And then they finally decided to listen to me, and then we started winning.
So you're taking the credit for the Final Four.
I'm changing the narrative. This whole thing, I'm having
I can't remember getting behind Morgan State.
Oh, it was bad.
Really?
Go back, watch the film. It was bad. But then I got in the game.
Did you take care of it? You were too busy looking at the Morgan State dancers.
Ooh, yeah, the band and the dance team. Yep.
Yeah.
I do remember that. How does he know that?
Wow. I was there. I was at the game.
So you were looking too?
No, I saw you looking. So what the heck's Flowers looking at? You should be focusing on the game.
Looking at Grande.
Michael in South Carolina, did the Mountaineers find their best lineup Tuesday night? Oscar, Derek, Jermaine, Taz, and Deuce. Seems like their best chance to create a lead and keep it. All right. Nathan, tell John we miss his energy on the court. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I miss playing for Mountaineers as well. That's why the TBT is such an amazing event, and we got it here to. It was supposed to. We tried to get it here to Morgantown at the Coliseum, but apparently it is no.
Oh, it's going to be totally upside down.
AC.
Right, they're pulling all the seats out. They're changing the scoreboard. They're changing all the lights. I mean, that's going to be start to finish from the time graduation's done.
Yeah, it'd been great to come out in the Coliseum again, though. You know what I mean? And
oh, sure.
I know it would have been a packed house. So we got to pack the Civic Center, and I know like me, I was talking to Deshaun and KJ about it the other day, and it's going to be like playing against Marshall or Oklahoma or one of those big teams up there again. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
I think you should get Hugs to coach the team.
You think he will?
I'd ask him. It's one thing to get all you guys back together, playing together, which is so neat to see all you guys.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Bear coach you guys one more time.
How does that? I thought about it too, though, because they have recruiting periods and stuff. So I don't know. But other than that,
recruiting, schmacuting, don't worry about it.
You need a shooter. Don't we need a shooter?
You need some adult supervision.
How does that work though? Like, how do we? Because we're not the same guys. You know what I mean?
He'll coach you.
I could shoot now.
He'll coach you.
You think I will have the same? Like,
he'll take a look. No, he won't say you can only shoot when there's 5 seconds to go.
Cool.
He won't say that.
If that's the case.
He'll respect your games. I haven't brought this up to him yet. I'll do that in the not too distant future. Say, Hugs, you know what? I don't think you guys were badly coached. I'm just kind of doing it like for the star value to have Hugs out there coaching you.
You think he would?
I don't know. You know Hugs, anything.
I think it would be a great benefit for his foundation is what Norman May Huggins foundation.
Yeah, that would be really good.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Ask him for real. For realsies.
I'll do it. Hi, three guys. First time, long time. I looked up the NCAA net rankings and the archaic and much maligned RPI rankings and was aghast at where our middling, struggling tourney bubble ears are sitting post Cyclones win. They're 19 in the net, 16 RPI. They've got a strength of schedule of number 2. Pretty strong resume, not just to make the tournament, but a top 5 seed. What's interesting is the out-of-conference schedule is a major asset for West Virginia. Wins over Wichita, Rhode Island, Northern Iowa. Ohio State, you can throw Nichols in there too, they're over 20 wins, are propelling the lackluster conference results. Question is, how integral is the out-of-conference opponents doing in their respective tournaments to continue being an asset to West Virginia's resume? So the bulk of the season will have more weight than these conference tournaments. It might have a small little, but West Virginia is receiving the equity already, and that's not going to go away regardless of what happens for these teams in their conference tournament. So they've got the money in the bank, so to speak, of getting the value from those teams. There won't be a drastic difference.
Those are shocking numbers, actually.
You know, Josh Eilert put that schedule together,
and
he was fantastic. Yeah. He picked all those teams in the mids and picked the teams that were going to win.
Yeah.
And several of those teams are going to win their league, and that was a great schedule. It really was.
Shout out to Josh Eilert.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah. So good job there.
Very smart.
Hi, fellas. I was at Hilton Coliseum last night without the benefit of reviewing certain plays on TV or listening to Tony's insightful descriptions on the radio. While I was thrilled to leave the arena with a W, I had a few questions and concerns. Were there indeed 5 or more over-the-back non-calls against Culver? Yeah, probably. He takes an absolute he takes a beating, John. You watch it at all?
Yeah.
Because he's so big. I mean, they beat the hell out of him.
They call over the back on him, though.
Yeah, they do. But, I mean, he gets beaten. He gets beaten just because he's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened at the end of the first happened with McNeil rushing an off-balance shot and then Culver heaving up a wild 3 while there was still plenty of time on the clock. You know what that is? That's what John was talking about. That's the youth and understanding of time and situation. And Sean obviously thought he might have thought there was 0.8 left because there was still a ton of time left. And then Derek got it. He thought it was a hand grenade with the pin out. He launched.
He threw it
Fortunately, Deuce got the air ball. Got it to Sean. Sean fed it underneath the basket. Culver scores. It was absolute circus. It's just it was just the whole thing got set off because Culver sees Sean shoot it quick. So Culver gets the ball back. He thinks, well, hell, there must be no time left. So I'm gunning it up. Circus.
That's why I like about our team. We didn't have the most talented team, but the IQ of some of those guys, like those B-line guys, Deshaun, Joe Mazzulla, Cam Thurman,
Wellington.
The IQ of those guys, they took young guys like me, and I couldn't shoot unless it was under 5 seconds, but they took guys like me and they say, yo, calm down. This is the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be over there. You need to do this. Don't shoot unless it's 3 seconds on the clock, other stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You talked to Mazzulla at all?
Yeah, that's my boy. I was going to go see him, man, but yeah, he's probably the godfather of my child coming up.
By the way, congratulations. You're going to have a baby next month. Well, your wife is.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to, but your wife is.
Same thing.
Do we know boy or girl yet?
Little girl.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool.
Name yet?
Tony Rita.
Excuse me?
Tony Rita.
Tony Ita? Yeah, thank you. Cute. Mazzulla liking this NBA thing?
He loves it. I'm trying to get him to come back here, but like the other night they had an overtime game against Philly, I think it was, and he texted me after the game. He was like, "How can I leave this?"
Oh yeah, that was last weekend when they missed the free throw and got the shot and put it up for 3.
He's like, "How can I leave this?" Because as you know, the message boards are calling for Joe Mazzulla to come back, just from people that are just
to do what?
Frustrated and get on staff or, But
he's not going back. He's not going to come to college. How do you play with the greatest? How do you coach the greatest players in the world and come back to college?
John Beeline.
That wasn't by choice. The texter also said Oscar did a lot well, but there's plenty of times when he looked clueless on defense and tentative on offense.
I got some tips for them that can really help him out. I think some stuff that Joe Alexander showed me when he came back, when I was like a senior and stuff, like just posting up and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, go there today. Can you go over there today?
No, they had practice already at 1.
No, they were. No, it was after. I was over there. They were going on the floor at 3.
Oh, 3 to 6. Okay. I might go in there. But if they hear this, if they just run
go over there and show them. You have to show them.
Maybe someone listening can tell them as well if I'm not there. You know what I mean?
Trust me. You go and show them. That's going to have the impact. By the time someone hears it and then tries to explain, guys will be running up in the stands.
Gotcha. So I won't say anything. I'll just keep it to myself.
Hey, 3 guys, short and sweet comment. It's hard to have senior leadership when you have no seniors who have been in the program for 4 years like Deshaun, Kevin, John. # too many transfers.
Chase.
Well, yeah, I think the point is, as you said earlier on about this transfer portal, I mean, it's hard to get seniors nowadays. I don't care if it's West Virginia or wherever. You are not getting – I'd love to know the stat on how many senior days, okay, that happen in college basketball this week have seniors that have gone all 4, not kids that transferred in. I'd love to know what that number is. I think it would stun people. The guys stay. The hardest thing to do, I think, is play all 4.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest thing to do. You don't have to get adjusted to a new team. You know what's going on in the system. Unless you really just don't fit into the system, I think you should stick it out. You know what I mean? But that's just me.
But that's like you said earlier, guys for no reason.
I think people promise some things like, "Oh, you can come here and do this, that, and the third." But
the grass is not always greener.
Exactly.
Take a look at the guys. Take a look at the guys who left here last year and went to other places. look at their team's record, and look at their stats.
Right.
And say, hey, was that better for you?
Yeah.
And if they're honest, they'll say, nah.
Yeah.
No,
So
not better.
I learned that in college with a couple of girls I used to date. Grass is not always green on the other side.
Well, I thought they transferred.
You know, they look good on the outside, but, you know, they got attitude problems. And, he wants you to clean up and stuff. You know, it's just.
Right. I mean, for such a charmer like you, I can completely understand. You know, John, you guys have sponsors on Final Forecast?
Yeah, we have a few.
Good. We have a brand new one, and they have a 3-guy special.
Oh, wow. You guys are doing great.
A 3-guy special. It's Burdett Camping Center. They're the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. You can check them out at burdettcamping.com. And because they're the only one in the state of West Virginia, you can get whatever you need. The brand is there. Puma, Wildwood, Rockwood, and Coachman. Any other brand Burdett Camping Center carries is protected from the floor to the ceiling, and it doesn't add a single penny to the cost of your recreational vehicle. And right now, since they're a new sponsor, they've got a 3-guy special. All the listeners, a 177 BH Wildwood camper for only $10,900. A 177 BH Wildwood camper for only $10,900. Go to burdettcamping.com. Stop by Burdett Camping Center in Winfield.
I think I might get one of those for tailgates next season.
You know what would be really good? If you had a TBT camper. Think about that. When you guys go and you start barnstorming around here and playing your practice games, what if you had a TBT recreational vehicle that you guys would drive? You pull up there, you do an autograph session and things. You guys going to do that again? You're going to go like playing Beckley and things like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, there you go. TBT mobile.
It's protected on the warranty? Is that what it said? Because we would definitely need that.
Full warranty from the floor to the ceiling.
Yeah, we would definitely need that. We got a couple of wild guys on the team.
Yeah. Well, we can take care of it. So if you'd like to get involved with that, go to Burdett Camping Center in Winfield, burdettcamping.com. All right, real quick here before we have to go away. Have you had fun? I mean, I'm not holding you back from eating frickin' Skittles. I mean, you can't wait 5 more minutes before you start jamming Skittles in your face.
I mean, they were sitting in my face. It's just temptation.
Good to see you're on a big health kick. So,
I mean, we had fun, but it's not like the Final Forecast fun. But it's fun, though. I like it here.
Do you think I can get on the Final Forecast?
We'd love to have you, man.
How many times have I said I'll come on, but then I get nothing back?
But I know you have, like, stipulations. Like, we have to have blue M&Ms. Everyone has to be there. Deshaun, KJ, and
I do want all knuckleheads in person. Yes,
and Ashley and Dave and everybody.
Yeah, I'm offering you the studio. We can tape it in here.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, where are you guys taping now? You guys like on the side of a road somewhere, or what are you doing?
I don't know if I should shout out the studio name, but it's a studio.
You got a real studio? Is it nice?
Studio. Yeah, it's not over there anymore.
Okay.
They moved locations. We're moving up in the world, man.
Over there, is it? In Saberton?
Yep.
Oh, is that where you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's a good building.
Moving up.
I was there for 25 years in that building.
Oh, yeah? But that was a long time ago. Now it's a lot better technology and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
As you can see.
I understand. What do we need to know about TBT?
We're putting the team together. It's coming along great. Right now we have Tyreek Phillips, myself, Deshaun Butler, Kevin Jones coming back, and Nate Adrian, Dev Williams.
Devin Williams and Nate.
Yep. They all committed. We're just waiting on the videos to get back. A lot goes into this, you know what I mean? So we're doing the tours to raise money around West Virginia. So we're going to, I think, Wheeling. We're planning on going to Wheeling. Exhibition game in Fairmont against their alumni. We went to Martinsburg last year. We plan on going back there, and back West Virginia again. So we do these tours to raise money for the team because a lot of different costs go into it, such as hotels and travel and all that stuff. So it was harder than I thought, like putting it together and stuff like that. But it was a lot of fun. Mountaineers fans showed up to VCU. They bought all the beer, which is probably why it was easier to convince the TBT to come down to West Virginia.
Yeah, they will. West Virginians will buy beer.
Yeah, that's one thing we do.
1 tank of gas and beer, and you're good to go. Coaching staff set yet?
I mean, we plan on going with Dave Tallman as the head coach, Jared as assistant. There's nothing wrong, we just wanted to switch it up a little bit, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And Jared did a great job last year, I think.
I thought so, too.
It was his first year. It was kind of tough, you know what I mean? But just want to switch it up, get a different look. Coach Tallman does a great job of being organized and getting the players together, you know what I mean? So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Good deal. Congratulations on the baby.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And we have I think we opened up a GoFundMe as well. So if you guys want to donate to the TBT team, we just started our GoFundMe. It's Best Virginia 2020 if you want to go donate to the cause.
Best Virginia 2020 GoFundMe.
Yes. We appreciate it. I think we raised $6,000 last year to help us, and it really helped a lot. Every single bit helped a lot.
I appreciate you coming in and doing this.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Did you enjoy it? Was it fun?
It was cool, man.
Like when you leave and then you start talking to your friends, say, I did this podcast today, it was fun, or you're going to say, I pretended it was fun?
It was all right. I couldn't cuss.
No, you can't. I'm not doing that. Don't need that.
People think I just like walking around cussing.
You don't. No, you're pretty good. You're pretty good. I know situations, things just kind of roll. I get it. Best of luck in Argentina.
I appreciate it, man.
I want to see it. Yeah, you get 2 championships in a year. That'd be awesome.
Just everybody pray that I make it back in time for the baby. Being born doesn't come earlier, nothing like that. This is the first one, so I really want to be there for that.
You're in frickin' T. You better be here.
And most of all, because my wife will cuss me out if I don't make it.
Yes, she will, forever.
We don't want to hear that.
Forever. 3 Guys Before the Game is brought to you by Wheeling Island Hotel Casino and Mardi Gras Casino in Cross Lanes, where right now you can visit their sport books and bet on whatever you would like. Powered by Bentley. By Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. And by Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Visit them at burdettcamping.com. We're back on Monday. We'll recap the Mountaineer game against Baylor. We'll know the seedings and the matchups for the Big 12 Conference Tournament. That's on our next edition. This is episode 186 of 3 Guys Before the Game. For John Flowers, our producer-engineer, Taylor Kennedy, we're out. See y'all.